I've been
Hello.
told I'm hot, and that's the best way to start this morning. Welcome, everybody, to day 3 of the Valdrianth's channel Extra Life Marathon. I am your humble game mixtrix for Thirsty Sword Lesbians, the first game of the day. If you are up this early, especially if you're on the West Coast, good on you. But also, I am so excited to have my fantastic players come and play with us. However, before I get started with that, I do want to make a couple of quick announcements. First of all, again, today is our day 3 of the Extra Life marathon. The Extra Life program benefits the Children's Miracle Network. It does a really great job helping out kids with medical needs and their families. So if you are able, only if you're able, please consider giving towards this really cool fund. I promise all of the games are going to have really fun rewards. I'll talk about my rewards in a bit. The other thing that we want to talk about is our lovely host Valdrinth is doing a match for every subscription to the channel. Valdrinth is going to be donating $1 toward the Extra Life campaign for the rest of this month. If I am incorrect, please correct me. And so it's fabulous. Why not at least give a little bit and help out the channel, but also help out this great foundation. Now, as far as Thirsty Sword Lesbians goes, Thirsty Sword Lesbians is a game by Evil Hat. They are a fabulous company that has been focusing on LGBT games of late. I love this game because not only is it, very queer focused and progressive and just absolutely delightful, but you also get to express your feelings with your sword. And who doesn't want to be a badass with a sword? So some content warnings for this game. This game is going to have romance. It is going to have sensuality. And it is going to have a lot of innuendo. So if these are things that are not comfortable with you, then maybe check back in at the next game, which will start at noon Eastern. I'm sorry, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. So with that being said, I would like to first of all introduce myself. My name is Nyx. I am a storyteller extraordinaire, but I also do crafting and crochet on my channel, Resonant Moon. I can also be found on a couple of other channels, just playing random games. So check it out when you can. And now I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to my players to introduce themselves, and we will start with Spencer.
Oh boy. Hello. I am Spencer, aka at SpencerDV on Twitter, Discord, etc. We just naming ourselves? Are we talking about the character we're playing yet? Or
We're not talking about your character, just you.
okay. This is my first streaming thing I've done in a hot minute, so I'm excited. That's me.
Awesome. And let's go down to Jen. Yes, sorry, I got that wrong.
Oh, you mean me?
I
I'm pretty much Valdrianth exclusive. You can find me on Twitter at Omega362. Technically, I'm usually on Discord, and I am really glad to be here and having some fun with a game system that I've been wanting to play for a while.
I'm excited. Abby.
Hi. I'm Abhi or Abhilasha. I am usually on Twitter at Dr. _Vibon, where I am pretty much just shit posting most of the time, but I do also review lesbian books, sapphic general LGBTQ books, and movies on there on occasion. You can find my very strong opinions about Gundam Wish from Mercury being the best Yuri anime I have seen in a very long time. Sorry for the plug-in, but I don't think, but just generally. And this is the first time I I'm going to be playing TSL, and I have been wanting to do this for so long, so I'm really excited.
I'm glad you're here, and we will also have plugs at the end of game. And last but certainly not least, Spiritus. You're still muted, my friend.
Double points of mute. I forgot. But hi, I'm Spiritus. I've been on the channel for a while. I just haven't shown up. Mostly poking my head lurking in the back as a mod. But with that, I'm known as Spiritus Lupus just about everywhere. Usually spelled Lupus. But that was taken on Twitter. So
Yeah.
but I've never played TSL. I'm super excited to be here, super excited to play, and I'm looking forward to get to know not only this wonderful cast of characters, but this wonderful crew of people.
Fantastic. And I was corrected that the donation match is actually for the rest of this year, not just for this month. So but it is September, so all your subscriptions are discounted this month. So I mean, why not? Exactly, right? Right. Okay, so I'm gonna put my crochet down because that is a habit of mine, is that I fill my hands with yarn, and it's great. So to get started, we are in the city. You know, big city. It's a city. It doesn't have a name. That's okay, because that's not the reason that we're coming to this club today. There is a club that used to be just a dueling ring. It was called Club Saber. And as all the fighters started to get to know each other and start to have some feelings, they started to expand upon what goes on there. It went from just a dueling club to a social club, and everything kept expanding and expanding. So they said, we're only going to be open twice a month, and we'll have speed dating sessions. All of you have received an invitation to this speed dating event and have agreed to go. You've registered. So you're all in line. There are 3 different lines of people to get in. And as you are coming to the front of the line, there is a bouncer. The bouncer is a very tall, very where is she? There she is. She is a very, very tall, olive-skinned woman, a little pudgy, but you know she could wreck you if she wanted to. Long, natural red hair in a loose braid, wearing grunge attire. Looks at, we're going to start with Maya, and says, name.
It's Maya, or Shield of Maya.
Maya. Scrolling through a tablet. Ah, there you are. Okay. Here is your wristband. Puts a wristband on you. Please pose with your blade for the picture for your registration. What do you look like, and what does your blade look like?
Okay. So Maya currently looks like, if you've seen the old if you've ever seen black and white pictures of leather dykes, of like biker gear dressed with, but there's no brand as such. It's fairly generic. But again, fully dressed like a biker, and with boots. She's wearing sort of red boots rather than black, though. So it's a little bit of red boots. She's a very tall, very tall, shimmery AI, essentially, playing a hollow goddess here. So when she draws her sword, she draws it from her head. She kind of just raises it and just draws a sword from her head, and her sword looks looks pink. It's pink with red roses and lilies sort of wrapped around it, but all of them have very sharp thorns.
Nice. That gets you a nod of approval from the bouncer. Nice. Click. All right, head inside to section 3. It'll be on your left.
Thank you. Very stiff nod, a very stiff but courteous nod, and walks in.
All right. Next up, let's have Celine come up to the front of the line. Name.
Celine, darling.
Celine, got it. All right, please present your sword for your picture. What does
Yep.
Celine look like?
So Celine takes on, it is a fairly moderately of middle height, I would suppose, like 5'7", 5'8", considered tallish. Though she appears inevitably taller because of the platform boots that she wears. At least 3 or 4 inches, making her taller. The best way that I can at least think to put it is definitely glam rock style clothing with like a rainbow not afro, rainbowed mohawk. And all of her clothing is, at least the base pattern is like leather, black, studded, though it seems to be covered in paint of types, creating a bunch of graffiti-ish designs.
Nice.
She grins, and on her back there is like a canister, which she then just kind of kicks back her foot and hits the bottom of her shoe onto the canister, which flies off the top of her back. She spins, and as the canister falls, she grabs it and grins, grabbing what looks like a giant can of spray paint.
Okay.
By the actuator.
Okay.
And she does kind of like a flashy pose.
Okay. So you get I would like you to go ahead and roll 2 dice and
Sure.
add your grace to that. What did you get?
13.
Oh, hell yes. So you get hoots and whistles from people who are in line, and you get another rare nod and the barest bit of a smirk from the bouncer. All right, fancy pants, pose and click. All right, here's your wristband. Head on in. You're in section 3, over on your left.
She nods, gives a wink, and places the spray paint, like the spray paint canister, back on her back inside of its like case.
Yeah. You notice that they tap their own wrist a couple times after that, but you may not know what that means. And then next, let's have Rochelle.
Yeah.
Name.
Oh, Rochelle.
I've got 3 Rochelles on here. Which one are you?
Rochelle Carmichael.
Got it. Okay. And please present your blade for a picture.
Yeah. And so Rochelle is a woman of average height and build. Skin about as pale as Sean Patrick Flannery in the movie Powder.
That's a reference.
Pixie cut black hair. Very simple clothing, sort of just this plain white dress shirt. Sort of I'm not sure if close cut's the right word, but basically just these plain sort of black pants, black leather shoes, and she presents her blade, which at first just looks like the hilt to a sword. There's no visible blade, and she sort of just holds it over her shoulder. And on the opposite one of the sword, there's she has a little friend with her.
Mm-hmm.
It's an axolotl, but it also looks like it has dragonfly wings.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Oh yeah, that's my little friend Ted there. Hope you don't mind if I bring him in with me."
The club is not responsible for anything that happens to your companion. So just make sure you keep an eye on them.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Pose, I guess, and smile. Click. Here is your wristband. And
Thank you.
you are in section 3. Go on in to the left.
Okay, thank you.
And last but not least, Renee.
So Renee sort of limps up to the bouncer with a very dour expression. It's like, suppose you need a picture or something to that effect, like a
Yep.
wristband.
Real quick, your name, please.
Renee.
Okay. There you are. And please present your blade for a picture.
Must I?
It's absolutely necessary, otherwise you're not getting in.
Fine. I pick up the cane and unsheath the blade from within it. It's a very simple, very sharp blade. As I put all of my weight onto my left leg as relatively average height, wearing a very long trench coat and like a 1920s detective hat. And generally dour expression and attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Very much seems like she doesn't want to be here, as she sort of waves her blade half-heartedly. Is that good enough?
I mean, if you don't want to be here, you don't have to. Nobody's like forcing you, are they?
Well, I'm seeing if I could learn some things, and seems to be a social event for that.
Okay, well, if you're in trouble, just ask for an angel shot at the bar. Angela will take care of you, okay?
I can handle myself.
All right, cool. Here's your click. Okay, here's your wristband. Be careful, okay? You
Nothing
see-
if not.
Okay. You're in group 3, so head on in and to the left.
Heads on in.
All right, so you are all in group 3 together. It is the 4 of you. And you are all fairly certain that you recognize each other from one thing or another. So let's go over your relationship questions real quick, and that way we can make those connections. So we're gonna start with Maya. So your first question is, who reminds you the most of someone you left behind? If any of you have input or suggestions, you are welcome to say so as well.
Among the group, right?
Yes, among the group.
Okay. I think that Maya is going to get a very powerful, not even powerful, just general uh like shock when they see uh Renee.
Mm-hmm. And why is that? They remind you of somebody that you left behind?
Yes, I think it's Renee's sort of I don't want to be here, but I will be here. Uh, uh, Sort of the grim obligation of it in some ways is
Mhm.
giving a very powerful reminder of someone Maya had helped to recover or, kind of deal with that kind of uh, general malaise and cynicism. Someone
Gotcha.
they were quite fond of.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Okay, so the next question is, who most reminds you of someone who abandoned you?
Okay.
Hard-hitting questions today. I know. It's early.
I'll say I don't mind taking like that if you can't decide on somebody because of how flashy and movie she is.
Hmm. I'm going to say, yeah, I think I'll go with Celine. I think on that. It's not I think it's a general look of Celine and sort of the way that Celine is standing and the expression on her face, and she's like, it's a very faint sort of resentment. They feel a little bit like looking at Celine, but they are fairly logical to know that this is just a them thing.
Fantastic. And your last question, who has seen you at your most inhuman?
There's only one left.
You don't have to choose. You could choose somebody a second time.
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to be Renee.
Okay.
Mm.
Lovely, lovely. All right. So, moving on. We are going to take a look at the questions for Rochelle Carmichael.
Hmm.
Who in this group sees your potential?
Ugh. Hmm. That makes I'm open to suggestions here because this is a toughie to open with.
Honestly, if you're looking for that, I think that's going to be Maya, based on Maya's protocols.
Okay. Yeah. Um, I guess Avi, if you're open to uh is the reasons why, I'm fine with that relation. It was more the what does Maya see in Rochelle?
What does Maya
Uh,
see in Rochelle?
ooh, I think that Maya sees in Rochelle um okay, not a mistake exactly, but maybe a stoppered project, a project that
Hmm.
they started, but due to many circumstances, kind of just abandoned and left behind because they were not satisfied with the progression of their work.
All
Mm.
right,
Okay. Yeah.
I'm here for it. Um, who thinks you're perfect just the way you are?
Ooh. Um.
Remember,
uh,
players, you are able to take this on if you feel
yeah.
called to it.
Um. See. Renee, do you think Renee and Rochelle have had some good interactions? Not necessarily the way they are, but maybe they're just really good friends, kind of thing.
Um, Renee is a person that's very suspicious of everyone around her. Uh, Usually on account of their connections with people of lesser repute. Renee quite
Hmm.
liked you because you didn't
Okay.
have all of those connections. You were a lot more away from a society that Renee finds is horrible and tries her best to combat in every way that she can. So
Okay.
she finds you as, a relatively agreeable person, a person that she likes on account of your general outsiderness.
Yeah, so Rochelle's kind of been an exception to Renee, is sort of what I'm picking it up.
Exactly.
Okay.
I love it.
Beautiful. I love that.
Okay, next question. Last question for Rochelle.
Mhm.
Who thought they took you on a date when you thought it was just a fun, friendly time?
I
Celine is like me.
I will
Yeah.
definitely take this one if you got nobody else in mind.
Oh, absolutely. Because I feel like, yeah, it was one of those deals where, Rochelle just thought she and Celine were like hanging out and they were just having a good time. And she left the date in Celine's eyes thinking, well, that was a nice time with one of my friends. That was great. I guess to ask
Only
a
because it's
further
happened to me
question.
so many times.
Yeah. What Celine, what was the thing you thought was the date that Celine and Rochelle did together?
Oh goodness. I feel like either we do the funniest part would be either doing like ice cream parlor shenanigans or definitely an amusement park. Both.
I
Let's go with both.
Let's go. There's ice cream parlors and amusement parks. Like, yeah.
There we go.
That's
Absolutely.
totally what happened. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dig into Renee a little bit. So Renee, you are the investigator.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you know from somewhere else?
From somewhere else?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It can be Maya. It can be anybody
yeah.
in this group.
I know Celine by reputation. I've heard a fair bit about her and uh know a fair bit about her and have encountered her in my investigations, but uh haven't necessarily actually met her. And don't necessarily know a lot about her as a person, just of her reputation.
Right. Next question. Who can help you pursue one of your burning questions?
Given I've worked on a case in the past with Maya, I find that she's can be a very helpful asset in any manner of investigation. So I would like her assistance with figuring out what exactly is going on.
Perfect. What do you think is going on, by the way?
I'm here on account of I've heard some interesting accusations going on about this particular club and possibly extramoral activities.
Extramoral activities. Okay.
I'd
like
say
that.
extra legal, but the legal part doesn't bother me so much as the moral part.
Fair.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Alrighty, and your last question is one that I don't think we're going to be touching on, but who has the connection to the toxic powers? Probably this extramoral activities that you are trying to uncover here.
Who actually does, or who do I think does?
Who do you think does?
Oh, I think Celine does, based on everything I've heard about her reputation.
Reputation.
And it could be a case of mistaken identity. It could be any number of things, but I'm pretty sure Selena has something going on that is not necessarily above board.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. All right. Let's go on to Celine. Celine, your questions. Now what kind of troubadour are you?
So I'm a graffiti artist. So
Right. Gotcha.
hmm.
So your first question is, who is your biggest fan?
I mean, I think I would feel that maybe Renee has the chance of being my biggest fan, if they because they think I'm doing the whole extra morality thing,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mhm.
or extra legal thing. So I feel like it it would seem to Celine that that's their biggest fan just because they're trying to get close all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Next question. Who has taken issue with some of your art?
Ooh. I I honestly like I kind of feel like I want to say Maya just because of the fact like there's a prim and proper order to everything and my art is not that at all. I mean, while it's very creative, very flowy, very showy, flashy if I must, um it does disrupt the order of things.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. And then your last question. Who has seen you at your lowest?
Definitely Rochelle.
Aw.
I feel like this is probably one of the reasons why she feels like that date was such or that friendly gathering was such a date is that she lost it at one point
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
and probably cried her eyes out.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Well, that is wonderful. So you all recognize each other. Um, the MC hasn't come up to the stage to start talking about the process of the evening. So you all could just mingle in silence, or you can talk to each other. What do you want to do? You could say hello.
I think we'll start things off. Rochelle's probably just scooch beside Renee. It's like, so you here on some investigation, something or other, or you just here for the fun of it?
There's no reason it can't be both. But yeah, I'm also here for an investigation.
Oh, how fun! What are you investigating, or is that classified?
Who is it that you think that I work for? Does something be classified?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we haven't talked a whole lot, but you do seem the one that, plays her cards close to her chest.
See, that's fair. No, I've just been hearing some interesting things about the club. Wanted to see everything that's going on about the club. You know,
Oh yeah, what kind of things you've been hearing about?
just whispers mostly. No place, nothing to talk about in polite company.
Oh, that's fair enough. Good to see you.
Good luck with the speed dating, I guess.
Yeah, I've never really done this kind of thing before. It's far different from just hanging out with the animal friends I have where I live just outside the city. So this could either maybe go well or it could very well be disaster, but we'll find out.
Well, you're more sociable than I am already, so
I
probably go
try
well
to
for you.
be. We'll see.
Yeah, this entire conversation, Renee is literally not even looking in her direction and like looking around at the room around her, just taking in every detail except for the person she is currently having a conversation with.
Mhm.
She's like,
Um, yeah.
Celine, Maya, anything
Um,
or are you just observing at this point?
actually, Celine's probably gonna just be standing by the wayward side, somewhat close to, but definitely not next to Maya. It's like, well, 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 if it isn't my biggest hater.
Maya kind of is still not seeing Celine as such right now, is still kind of seeing who Celine is reminding them of. But when she says, oh, isn't it my biggest hater? I just wanted to ask, can this be memories that she has to access, like from her memory banks, or is this something that she would just be able to? Is this some kind of role I have to do, or is it just something that I can know?
It's just something you can know.
Okay. She's going to sort of quickly there, just be a little like, what? But then be like, and then have this like realization dawn on their face and be like, ah, Celine, the artist. Yes. Uh, uh, Pleasure seeing you here.
That is the
Uh,
greatest artist you have ever seen.
Don't flatter yourself. You're pretty good.
She just
your
how dare
your art is not relevant in this event, I'm going to assume, or is this all that is to your personality?
It is not all there
Ooh,
is,
I'm
but
sorry, that was a great burn.
okay. No, I agree. It is not all there is, but it is something that is the most important thing to me, yes.
All
I
right.
understand it. Yeah, as chaotic, and I have of course expressed my opinions for your version of expression fairly clearly, though I will admit it was unjust, sometimes a little harsh. But everything has its place in the great algorithm, especially in these scenarios where the whole purpose is to meet people, and you can kind of see them pause, and like they're legitimately like trying to find better words and trying not to go with their first instinct of this is wrong, and like it comes out very carefully.
Mhm.
It's
I have been informed that I should maybe enjoy the chaos, or at least appreciate chaos and color and disorder for what it is. So I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that you find someone who appreciates everything that you are, all the aspects, including your art. I hope there are other aspects, of course. And so yes. Uh yes.
she just
And
paused. I'm sorry, go
kind
ahead.
of turns away. They just look straight ahead.
She pauses. That is very kind to say. But she thinks a minute and says, at least though I know artists of my kind, while art may be detestable for some, usually we are good with our hands. And she just turns.
As you're turning, there is a tone, doom 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 doom, and then a spotlight uh focuses on the center of the main lobby. The lobby itself is kind of Art Deco movie theater style, with ramps going up into different nodes or suites, as they say. Um, And coming up to the microphone is a very lean, defined build person, currently sporting a femme look, short hair, kind of coiffed to the side, looking resplendent and just absolutely delighted that everybody's here. This is the owner, Victoire Lamont, the original duelist of Club Saber. Started this club 15 years ago. So in their late 40s, very much silver fox, silver cougar kind of vibe. Welcome, everyone. It is such a joy to have you all here tonight for our semi-monthly speed dating extravaganza. We have prepared many new installations based on feedback from the last few of our events. So you will notice some new additions in the heart section. Not only do we have a new installation from a local artist slash musician, but also we have a free painting area, a wall that has been refreshed and new with a coat of paint and any colors that you could possibly dream of in both aerosol and liquid forms to tag it up, as it were. Now, I do want to mention that there are no gang signs and no offensive language to be used. Other than that, express yourself in a way that feels authentic to you. As far as tonight's activities, you will notice that you have all been given a wristband. For those of you who are new to this event, when you meet a person of your interest, tap your wristband to theirs, and it will record your identity number. When you finish your interaction, just tap your wrist with theirs again, and that way, tomorrow, after you've had a night to process everything that has happened, you will be given a list of everyone that you have interacted with their name and their image, where you met and how long you all interacted together. Should you and this other person choose to connect, we will give you the information as long as both parties wish to do so. Otherwise, dears, have a wonderful time. As always, we have the Mind Suite. This suite will challenge your intelligence, will challenge your wonderful brain receptacles, give you many, many things to think on. The Heart section is where you will show your passion through art, through dance, through debate. And in the body section, this is obviously where our dancing, our movement will progress. But we also have a well-received sensory room for those who wish for a more low-key interaction that will not overstimulate you. Furthermore, the blade section is currently being prepared. It will be ready within half an hour for the first duels. If you, pardon me, they seem to catch their breath and wipe at their mouth a little bit. Once the blade area is ready, you will be notified on your wristband, and you can sign up for duels as you see fit. The duels are non-lethal duels, and there are medics on site for any medical attention that is needed. However, we trust you all to participate as kindly as you can. Who let this cat in? That they wave down some security to remove a cat that has wandered onto the stage and is circling around them. Renee, go ahead and make a roll to figure out what is happening. Do you have anything specific?
Well, if we're investigating the scene of a mystery, um, if this is a figure out a person roll,
Yeah.
I get a bonus.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Let's see here. What are my stats? I have it on a note on my phone. Here we are. So that's going to be a 9.
Okay, so that's a mixed beat. So you could tell that there's some kind of mild allergic reaction happening, but it seems that security is taking care of it. But you've also heard that like this place is really clean. Like their health inspections have been impeccable the last 4 years. So you're not really sure how this happened, where there's a cat on the loose inside. The cat does evades the security and goes running off, but security does go chasing after them. Well, that's a little bit of excitement to get us started. So, groups 1 through 3, you may go ahead and proceed to the mind location to start. After 10 minutes, you will be allowed to free wander throughout the club. We just want to spread everyone out. Groups 4 through 6, you shall be going to the heart section, and 7 through 9, you are going to body, and the rest of you can hold on here in the lobby for the first 10 minutes. The bar is open. Please drink responsibly. Thank you. Thank you so much, and enjoy your evening. Victoire is quickly taken off the stage and taken to what you assume is the administration area to be treated for this allergic reaction. So you are going to the mind area. There is a billboard sign style that greets you all. And it says the sections of the Mind Suite include the library, TTRPGs, board games, debate, which is also connected to heart, and experimentation, which is also connected to body. You all can choose to stay together. You can choose to go your separate ways. You've got about 15 other people that are, or 10 other people that are with you.
Rochelle kind of wants to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you first.
Rochelle is very enticed by the experimentation room. Is if we're somewhat clumped together, is gonna sort of turn around to the other 3. Would anyone want to come check this out with me? If you're cool with that sort of thing, it's no big deal. But figured I'd extend the offer.
Experimentation is what they do best.
Okay, cool.
We'll see what we can learn.
Maya looks kind like their eyes go wide for a second, because like experimentation is something they really do enjoy. It's a scientific principle. However, this is fairly unpredictable with people they have already had past experiences with, so they're kind of frozen at the spot and are looking right at Rochelle and Renee. They can't stop staring at them like, do you want to be in there with you? Like, that's the expression. Like, me, especially.
Well, yeah, of course.
Oh,
You're more free to say no. My feelings aren't going to be hurt.
Oh. Oh. Step out. Step out. They kind of mutter to themselves. You are supposed to step out. You do not control others' lives. You are supposed to meet them where they are and find yourself. Find yourself with someone else. And they kind of, I will follow all of you.
You sure?
I I am not sure. I please do know I hate admitting this. I am not sure of anything I'm doing right now, but I
Yeah,
am going to follow your lead.
Oh, thanks,
Bo-
Maya. I'm glad you trust me with that.
Both of your lead, and they look straight at Renee in this sort of shy, kind of bashful, remorseful look.
Uh, Fantastic. So as you all are heading towards the experimentation room, you will notice that um, there are several stations. There is one for chemistry, where you can experiment with anywhere from elementary to advanced scientific experiments that are deemed safe. You have like little game cards of what you can try to make together in 10 minutes. There is a mechanical engineering section where you can try to build like a very fast battle robot if you want. There is a cooking experimentation section where you have a full kitchen, and so you've got different short recipes that you can make together. I had something else written down, didn't I? Oh, and there's a tinkering section, because you never know what kind of additions you want to put onto your specific blades. So any of those are open to you. There are 4 other people who have also joined. So you can either pair up, you can go hang out with any of these NPCs, whatever you would like to do.
Renee is going to walk up to Celine and be like, "Hey, let's build something together right quick. See what we can whip up." And give a little bit of a nervous laugh. Um, for the first time, uh, any of the other PCs have noticed, Renee makes like direct eye contact to Celine in a like very, I am examining what this person is, less than a I'm being friendly moment.
Uh, right. All right. Celine just blinks a moment. Um, I was about to head over to the chemistry table, but sure, why not?
Okay.
It shall be interesting. Maybe she thinks something to do. Because she's focused on like because art is part like. Unfortunately, Maya hit it really right on the head. Like most of her personality is just art. She's like,
Oh no.
um, maybe I could build some sort of automatic sprayer or she just trails off thinking, muttering about implications.
That's totally valid. So you two are gonna go over there. Um, Rochelle, what are you going to do?
I, oh, because there's chemistry, cooking, tinkering, and you said the other was like some sort of like mechanical something or
Yeah,
other
like
for like battle bots.
yeah.
Oh,
There's already one guy over there with a beer
mhm.
who is looking at the different engine parts.
Okay, okay. She's going to look over to Maya's just like, any of these particular things catching your eye or
Uh, Maya is kind of examining all of them and is now doing essentially some kind of like, okay, for the parameters of being part of the speed dating thing, do I create chemicals? No, I will take over. I am an AI, I am a control freak, I know all of chemistry. That's not a good thing. probably not the best way to make relationships. Battle bots, fun. However, that's not kind of that as fun as that would be. Probably not. Is not kind of their thing. They were a dating app algorithm. Battle bots are not their thing. Cooking,
Mhm.
they don't eat. So anything they make, they help in making is going to be hilariously bad. But the idea of, making someone a sword or like upgrading someone's sword is very fascinating. So they're going to say, would you like me, would you like us to go and make a, like, make a cool sword, or, maybe have some upgrades on yours, for the later arena?
Hmm. I actually have been eyeing up that blade area since we walked in here. Sure, why not?
Okay, so you four take up the two stations on the tinkering section. You notice that there's a couple of people who went over to the chemistry section. The poor guy over in the BattleBot area is by his lonesome, but he actually seems quite happy about it. He's just kind of like, sweet, all the stuff to myself. Nobody's taken up the cooking section for some reason. And so what kind of attachment do you want to make at the tinkering section? It's very individual, and you will roll to see if you do it well or not.
Oh boy, howdy. Um, I think Rochelle would make some sort of attempt. God, her sword's not all that fancy.
With let's see here. Yours was what kind of sword?
I have the harmless sword.
Ah. So what would you like your sword to be able to do?
Um, Man, it's a good question. Spencer loves these sorts of questions. I think uh Rochelle would probably try and put, oh man,
You can also discuss it with everybody.
that's true. Um I think it's simple for her. She just wants to maybe basically put something in the sword that is essentially akin to like kyber crystals for lightsabers from Star Wars. Basically, so she can use like different little bits of nature to change the color of like the blade of her sword whenever she actually uses it.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Renee, what do you want to do? Like,
Um,
what do you want to be making?
Thinking of the allergy attack from moments ago, I'm going to try and install a old dart gun into the like handle of the cane that I'm walking about with, and see if it can't like deliver an antitoxin or something to that effect. But I'm
Got it.
sort of doing that with like half a mind while I am intensely trying to figure out what Celine's deal is.
Mm-hmm. Maya, what are you making? Or trying to make?
Hmm. So because Maya's sword is like kind of fairly like decked out, but it's decked out in a very it's decked out in very much in the colors and symbolism of love and eroticism on some level. So they kind of want to develop on that, and make like kind of upgrade the thorns and the roses on their sword, which still are just paintings, but want to develop them into something more functional. So like the roses will kind of deal extra damage. So not the roses, I will say the thorns will kind of deal extra damage when they hit.
Okay. And Celine.
So are we allowed to like not because I don't think she'd do anything with her spray can.
Mm-hmm.
But just like for me, so I guess she would try and make like
You could make something
more.
to go on your armor. You could choose to help out the others with their projects.
Mm, I think she'd probably try and help out with someone else's project. Um, I know. And because she's thinking about making like a spray gun, like an aerosol spray, like you know, like a spray, like spray brush, but more. And she'll help out Renee with her project.
Okay. So, I will have each of you roll. So we'll start with well, Rochelle, did you think of what you were doing, or are you gonna help Maya for right now?
Oh, um, I think she'd like to see what's instead of like the color changing thing. Let's try and put like a grappling hook on like the I guess will be like the bottom of the sword.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So I would like each of you to make a roll. This roll is going to be this is going to be either a wit or a spirit roll.
Ooh.
You can add one of your moves if it is applicable. You can ask me if you think it's applicable or you're questioning it. Renee, since you are getting assistance from Celine, you get a +1.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, so what did everybody get?
I got a 9.
Okay, so
I got an 11.
Maya, what did you get?
I got an 7+1 on 7+1 of spirit 8.
Okay. All right. So, Rochelle, you find all the right ingredients that you think you need. You find a spring coil, you find a very dense but sturdy rope that can be coiled in. You find a grappling hook. So you've got everything that you need. Renee, you find almost everything that you need. What you don't find is the needle for injecting the antihistamine or the counteract measures for that. So you find almost everything that you need, but not all of it. So you're gonna have to get creative. Maya, um you find materials that would work, but they really upset the aesthetic if against your sword. So
It's not aesthetic, it's right out.
so given that information, please discuss. Maya, you have something?
Uh, Maya kind of looks at the materials and is looking at her sword and just kind of looks crestfallen and uh, hmm, all the material is it's very good if the sword was of a punk aesthetic, but the sword is not a punk aesthetic. It's imagine Rose Quartz's sword from Steven Universe. So this is very like the materials would be very aesthetically jarring. Uh, so like they kind of look they shrug at Rochelle like, do you think that pink and black is punk? Or do you think that pink is.
Well, I mean, I'm not really too I'm not sure the right phrase would be, maybe up to date on that kind of stuff because, well, I don't live in the city. I just kind of have this gesturing to her outfit, and that's it. But I mean, I feel like punk is whatever the individual who's into it makes it out to be. So, I mean, for you, I think pink and black would be just fine.
Maya kind of looks at the. I I'm going. I will concur. Uh oh, this so creative. This is going to be really messy. Okay, and they kind of just okay, and they suddenly strikes them. Can you get a sprayer of some kind? Like I I don't want the colors to be clashing. So like, can you get like a color sprayer of some kind? Like we could maybe lighten up the color a little bit.
Uh, I mean, is
Or
there
maybe
something like? Oh, go ahead.
maybe I could turn my roses like on the sword into black roses. I mean, that could work. I think,
Yeah, I mean, that's something I feel like could work, maybe.
but I'll still need the color sprayer for that. Oh,
Um, I mean, we have a graffiti artist right there.
I can you go ask her,
No,
please?
and she kind of like does like the sassy hands on hips thing. She's like, no, why don't you like Celine, Miles? She's fine.
I I may or may not have in the past um made some less than glowing complimentary suggestions to improving her, or I would say recategorizing her art, because well, if you're going to use pixels and 3D, going to use three dimensions that way, at least it should make even the tiniest amount of logical sense. And I may
Well,
have offended her.
well, I don't know if you know this, Maya, but not a lot of art makes logical sense.
I told her she had no other personality. She's going to want something else from me.
Now, Liz, as someone who's hung out with Celine a little more than you, she is very interested in what she does. That doesn't make it her whole personality.
This was one of the reasons why I suggested that we do some, you know, fine, okay, I guess we are doing this. And Maya just kind of turns and just kind of you've never seen an AI stomp before, but an AI is stomping. Just stomping away to Celine, and stands even stiffer, and the voice that comes out of their mouth, or the pixelated mouth, is somehow even more like Siri, which happens to them when they are stressed. Like they sound way more like logical, way more mechanical about it, and they're like, Celine.
Okay, before we start that, let's switch the pan over and go back a couple of minutes to Renee and Celine. What have you two been doing while you're trying to make these darts?
So Renee pretty quickly realizes that not all the materials are there, but also that wasn't entirely the point of this endeavor. So she's just sort of fiddling about with her hands, trying to make it look as though she's doing something. As she turns over to Celine, it's like, so It's my understanding that you've been taking a lot of commissions recently from lots of different folks. How's that been going for you?
Um, so initially, Celine is just gophering parts because she's not too great with technical mumbo jumbo and tinkering. So it's like, what do you need? All right, cool. I'm gonna go grab that. Runs over, grabs. She's been just gophering. Then she's like, well, there was that one time at the city center that was a surprising one. There hasn't been too many to come in, not that I know, not that I can recall. Not all of them are exactly that memorable. Um,
What was that about
though,
the city center? Please
yeah,
do expound.
some counselor or senator or the city official had asked for a mural or something or another. I can't remember. It was rather boring, but yeah.
Renee, what you recall is that there was a city councilman who commissioned a mural downtown uh, for part of a revitalization project, and it's actually this beautiful interpretation from the old skyline to a very fantastic version of the skyline. It's very colorful, but it goes from almost photorealistic to something out of Jim Henson's brainchild. So but it was paid for, and you can't trace where the funds were paid for.
Mm. Uh, uh, Celine, so you've just haven't done anything else for those people out of curiosity?
She pauses and looks thoughtful for a minute. It was rather surprising. Um, we don't artists of my ilk often do not get commissioned by city officials. So no, not that I can remember.
What recent projects have you been working on?
Well, she just thinks like I have something that I deal with in my own home. I have been working on new types of paint, new things to paint with, how to mix up aerosols and adding in iridescence into it.
Adding sparkles to spray paint.
Kind of, but also like bio or not bioluminescence, but luminescent paints. Atomizing and aerosoling luminescent paints.
And it's at this point that Maya comes over and says,
Celine, I would like your expertise on a appropriate color sprayer.
But yeah, so she's like, well, if you cannot find a needle, why don't you add the oh Maya, you need my help with something? Sure, I will be glad to give you some assistance.
I would like a your suggestions on a color sprayer for a sword which would have black roses and uh aesthetically gothic thorns on it.
She thinks a minute. The black roses. Aesthetically pleasing, it would be a darker color palette, maybe some violet, royal purple. Um, Usually those colors go well. The darker ones, royal blue, royal purple. Maybe be well, rose is too much of a light color. She just rambles on about color choices for a moment. I was like, oh yes, but I think with your choice and your question, a dark purple will do you nicely.
I appreciate your feedback and contribution. And sure. And just kind of walks away abruptly, but
Those
still
are
kind of
colors that those are colors that you did find.
okay, fantastic. Yeah, they kind of pick up those they pick up every dark purple that they can find, and just kind of is carrying is going to sprout two more virtual hands, because there are a lot of these. So just kind of takes as many, like, gets extra hands to take them all to the table.
Fantastic.
Mm.
Rochelle, you were left alone for a little bit. What did you end up doing while you were by yourself?
I don't think she was really doing anything productive. She's just probably, even though she can't hear it, she's watching the conversation between Maya and Celine, and just kind of has like, I imagine if you see the shot of them talking, you kind of see Rochelle sort of like just out of focus behind them, but you do see her kind of like do this because Maya's trying, and that's what matters to her.
Do you want to try to figure out what happened?
Oh, absolutely.
roll figure a person out.
It reminded me that's plus heart, right?
Yes.
Okay, and actually, my familiar helps me out with that basic move.
Yeah.
So that'll be
I'm sorry, it's wit.
Oh, wit. All right, still not too bad. A plus 1/8. And me, I got a 7.
You got a 7. Basically what you saw is you saw them making a connection. You saw them having a conversation that was a little stunted but not antagonistic as it was a few minutes prior. So you call that a win.
Sweet.
Now, Renee, what did you think of that whole exchange? You were right there.
After Celine walks around, I sort of shrug and think to myself, well, maybe a bit of a dead end. She doesn't really seem like the type to pay attention to any politics. And I'm going to look around the room for someone who looks like they are rich. Not like the way the rest of the group are artists and very aesthetically consistent, but like people who look as though they've paid someone to try and be aesthetically consistent.
Right.
Go
ahead.
And I just like to see if I can see if I could locate someone who might be more in touch with the politics of the day.
Gotcha. So one of the unwritten rules that you would have found in your research is that you can't talk about politics openly in this club. That is a huge faux pas. And one thing I do want to I want to break from this for one moment, because I realized that I did not tell everybody what my rewards were for donating.
Oh, yeah, that's
and that
important.
will
Oh,
become
man.
relevant because we're going to take our break shortly, and then everybody's going to split off to different areas to meet some new people. So, folks, if you want to participate in this and you want to be giving the players some twists and turns, what I will tell you is that we have some rewards. If you donate $5 for this fundraiser, you can reward a player with a +1 to their roll when they're making a check. If you donate $10, you can give somebody an automatic success or upbeat for the next roll. If you give a $20 donation, you can you can hit the speed dating bell and force everybody to go to a different section. And for a $40 donation, you can name one of our hot NPCs. So keep that in mind. I apologize. I forgot to say something about it earlier. Anyway, so scanning around, Renee, you see a few people who are in this section. There is a dark-skinned man of average height who's got short fire red cornrows and a full beard, wearing a nice suit. He's the guy who is in the BattleBots area. His jacket is very nicely tailored and is on a chair next to the sections. Shirt sleeves are rolled up, and is working on something with wheels that spins like a lazy Susan. There is, over in the chemistry section, there is a short, a bit pudgy person who has shoulder length blonde hair, a bit of peach fuzz on their face, and a large tattoo on their inner arm. They're wearing very utilitarian olive green button down shirt and khaki pants. They look like they've got some experience, and they seem to be teaching the person that's next to them, which is a tall, rotund male person. They have shaved, natural red hair with bangs, a mustache. Their clothes are kind of stained and disheveled, but they're trying to smile.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people that you see directly. You notice that there is another pair over in the cooking area. One person who's in a wheelchair who is doing their best to reach up and mix something, but they're having a bit of trouble, while another person is chopping on the chopping board next to them. But they seem to be having a great conversation.
I'm gonna go bother the guy who's having fun alone.
Okay. All right.
And we're not quite on break just yet.
No,
And
we
I'm
got a
gonna,
few more minutes.
yeah, I'm gonna walk and be like, oh hey, noticed you're building something. I sort of got done with my thing. What made you decide to come out to this fine club tonight?
Oh, well, hello. My name is Quentin, and yours?
Renee, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. He's got a decent handshake. Well, as far as what I'm doing here, I tend to not get out of the office as much as I'd like, and so I'm here to meet people who might share my love of building things, or perhaps might want to dance or two. Just simple things kind of remind me of what it's supposed to be like to meet people not on the internet and stuff.
That's fair.
So, I'll tell you my job if you tell me yours.
Well, oh gosh. Uh, I'm a, well, I'd say a detective, but that's maybe not. That's maybe a little ambitious. I'm a lover
A
of a
li-
good mystery.
So
What it pays, it doesn't terribly frequently, but I try to get along.
uh yes, I understand that very well. I'm a pilot by trade. Uh
It's a
but
good
they've
trade.
well, they kind of grounded me, so now I'm in airport administration. Uh but it still is close to flying, I guess.
Someone's got to do it.
And that's very true. But training people isn't the same as actually flying.
Yeah,
Did you used to be on the police force or
in another life, maybe.
I see. Well, what were you doing over there in the tinkering section? Did you get anything good going on?
I've got a lot more questions than I have answers. I find that a lot these days. Always more questions than answers.
Isn't that the spice of life though? If you have all the answers, then everything just gets boring.
Yeah, but I get paid for answers and I don't get paid for questions. Though frequently I just don't get paid at all. I should
You sound like you might
really.
be here on business rather than pleasure.
The difference between business and pleasure and how I run my particular business is always entirely too blurry.
You got to try to keep those things separated. Otherwise, well, you kind of lose yourself. By the way, would you hand me that spanner over there? And so he starts tinkering away. And at that point, the buzzer for the speed dating round alerts that it is time for everyone to split apart. Everybody who has interacted so far taps their wristbands to each other, and during our break, we're going to take a 15-minute break so everybody can stretch their legs, bio break, all that good stuff. When we come back, you all will decide where you're going next and what we're going to do. So stay tuned, everybody. Remember that we do have our rewards for this game. If you do exclamation point rewards, you will see those listed. Also be reminded that for the rest of this year, if you subscribe to Valdrin's channel, she will match your donation or your subscription with $1 to Extra Life. So please be generous. Also, it's September, so you can get a discount on that too. And until then, we will see you in about 15 minutes.
We are back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us. Again, I am Nyx, your humble game mixtrix, and this is Thirsty Sword Lesbians speed dating at Club Saber. And so far, our friends and lesbians, they have met up, realized that they all know each other, and now are have spent a little time tinkering and trying to work out a thing or two. Just a reminder that there are donation rewards if you would like to enhance or affect this story in any way. But the speed dating bell has just rung. Friends, where are you going next? And what kind of person are you looking to go to that place with?
Mhm.
So I'll start heading to
Yep, there we go.
there you go. I'll start heading to the blade area because I find that I don't know, you can tell a lot about a person who try to stab them or something.
That was originally what this club was founded on. So there we go. So Renee is making a beeline for the blade area. Quentin says, I'll be watching from the sidelines. I can't afford to get this messed up. It's the only one I've got. So he waves you off and says, good luck. So you go down there. Who else is going where?
I think Rochelle's gonna follow Renee down to the blade area.
Okay. So Rochelle and Renee are walking either side by side or one behind the other.
Yeah.
Okay. Celine, Maya, you are left alone at the tinkering stations. What are you two doing?
Um, Celine, she looks at the cooking station and how cooking is a great form of expression and a wonderful art form. So she might be third wheeling here, but if the other two don't move, she goes and joins them.
Okay. Well, technically they have to because the bell has rung,
Got
so
you.
they have to get new partners.
Yeah, she'll move off to cooking though. Still,
Okay. How about you, Maya?
Uh, so Maya does want to test out the new things on their sword, but also has the main criteria of trying to meet more people than the people than they already know. So sorry, I'm sorry to ask this, but could you tell me the other places that they could go apart from the blade area?
Absolutely. So there is so you are currently in the mind area, which has a library. It also has a tabletop role-playing game section, a board game section, a debate section, and you're currently in the experimentation section. In the heart suite of the club, there is a music and art installation, a graffiti wall, and a dance club. There is also a sensory room to if you get overloaded. In the body section, there is an extended it's connected, the dance area is connected, the experimentation area is also connected. You can kind of hear the pulsing of music. And there is a dining section as well for fine dining. And of course the blade suite, which is where you can test out your feelings against another person through the most passionate of methods, being a duel.
Hmm. Okay, uh Maya does make a mark to go to the blade area later, but first they want to try dancing. They want to try dancing. They want to try body. They don't. Their body's obviously very malleable, but you know they're trying a new form and they want to see that if this is what's going to be good for them for now.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna come to the two that are going to the blade section last, if that is okay. Consent? Great.
Yep, fine by me.
All right. We are gonna start with Celine. Celine, you are looking at the prepared areas. It looks like there's some foods that are already ready and just waiting to be plated. So you have at your disposal a lot of things. And do you have a D20 handy?
Oh yes, mini darling.
Can you roll me a D20, please?
Yeah, sure. Just give me a second. Pull it out. There we go. That is a 10.
A 10. Okay. So a wayfish looking gentleman, about 5'9", 5'10", comes up. His ears have been modified to kind of have a little bit of a point, like elf ears. Has decent looking sleeves, or a decent looking suit. Has pockets on the outsides of his sleeves, and you're not really sure what that's for. His eyes are brown, but you can definitely tell that one of them is a glass eye. And his hair is short, but you can tell that there's one patch that may or may not be real. Sports a full beard, keeps it a little bit long, and is a bit of a fashionista in their walk, like knows that he owns the room, at least fashion wise, and says, is the station open?
Be my guest. I shall enjoy the company.
Oh, well, lovely. Topper. And you are?
Celine. A
Celine.
pleasure.
Oh, I like that name, the moon and stuff. It's really pretty. So what are we plating here?
Hmm. She just looks to the various things. Well, I have experience with contemporary noodle dishes.
Noodle dishes. Like in soup and broth form, or like pasta?
Yes.
Okay, soup and broth form. Well, I guess you're gonna need a bowl for that. So do you want white, blue, or I guess this is like a sakura design on the inside?
Hmm. Blue is always a very pretty color.
Okay. So he brings over this blue dish. It's a very deep bowl. It has a brown line, and then the inside is earthenware white. Um,
Hmm.
he also brings over a matching spoon, and was just like, so have you been to one of these things before? I'm
No,
sorry, I'm trying to not sound very cheesy in that whole, come here often kind of thing. I don't know how to do any of this. I'm sorry.
you're fine. I work more with paint than I do people myself, so I understand hesitation and nervousness, even for one that is so dashing as yourself.
Well, what can I say? You are just something to behold. You really inspire with your choices.
Well, thank you. I do try my best to be as aesthetically pleasing as possible. It is one of the key things that an artist must have. They must have an attention to detail, an eye for taste.
Yeah, definitely. And your did you make this yourself? And he starts like looking really close at your seams.
Uh, well, the clothing, no. The designs, yes.
Can you make a wit roll?
Yeah, sure. See. I'm just looking quickly. So would I don't know if I can do it because it is a heartstring move. But with that, would I be making an appeal to his physical or emotional sensibilities?
I can see that. I can see that.
Okay. So then I'm going to entice him,
Okay.
which is 5, makes that a 6.
Okay. Um, he smiles at you coyly, as you say about having taste. Um, and then he says, I know this is one of my favorite designs.
Ah, well, I'm glad. Well, it looks rather nice.
So let's put this all together, shall we? And so he's definitely smitten with the fact that you've chosen something that he has created. I don't know if that was clear. Something that he has created, you chose, and you were complimenting it without knowing who he was. So he's very charmed by that. Um, and we're gonna switch over to Maya. Maya, you made your way over to the dance floor, and you notice that with each bell, they are changing uh the different genre of music. Right now they have like a light clubbing, going. People are writhing on the floor, like they're undulating their bodies in different ways. You can see some people are dancing um ATS fusion, which looks a little bit like belly dancing. You've got some people that are dropping it like it's hot. You've got some people who are grinding. Lots of the wristbands flashing as they're dancing together, and then tap and they go and dance with somebody else. It's a very strange kind of amalgamation of movement and bodies and light and beats. It's a lot. How are you feeling about that?
Oh, uh, a little overwhelmed
Mm-hmm.
by just like the non-uniformity of the situation, but this is something that they'd on some level anticipated. Like,
Mm-hmm.
a dance is not something that they've ever been truly able to master. They just knew this as like one of the things that is part of the algorithm that can connect people, but it's not something that they have done because it wasn't something that they were ever taught to do so as such.
Mm-hmm.
So they so first they're okay. I'm wondering if I can pull a move here,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to essentially scope out everyone. I want to see the dance floor ahead of me and pick out a person specifically that looks like someone who would be willing to lead them but also essentially looking for a switch.
Okay.
Looking for a switch.
Got it. Got it. So I would like you to roll a figure a person out unless you have something else that you would like to try to use.
I'm going to will can I pull a sharp with numbers on this?
Sure. I can see that.
Okay.
So you can roll, well, you're not really fighting right now. But I will let you roll with spirit
Okay.
instead of wit.
All right. Okay.
And also, if you have a d20, I want you to roll that as well.
I shall get my D20 out. Okay. Sorry.
All good.
First, let's roll the D6s. Please be good. 5 plus 4, 9. 9 plus 1 on spirit, so that's a 10.
Okay. And then roll that d20.
Oh, nice. 18.
18. Okay. So, as you're scanning the floor, you make eye contact with this tall, dark-skinned female. She's about in her mid 30s. Seems to be of Latin descent. Has a few scars on her, but is looking for somebody that maybe could keep up with her. Has a golden rapier in a sheath on their back. You can see the hilt and a little bit of the blade, but that's it. When you two make eye contact, she cocks her head to the sky, asking a question like, "You wanna?"
Uh, Maya kind of nods, not sharply, but in fact, kind of shyly at this, like kind of, yeah, and kind of just goes up to them and holds, and just kind of holds their hand out, like, how do we do this?
So the woman taps your wrist bracelet and says, "How are you? My name's Bruna. What's yours?"
It's Maya, or uh, can I go by Maya with you? If this
Sure.
goes well, uh, I can share more.
I would like that very much. Would you care to dance?
Only if you can show me how.
I know how to dance in many different ways, and I can certainly teach you how. And they hold out their hand for you and lead you
They
on the floor.
they
Um,
put their hand in theirs.
go ahead and make a grace roll +1.
Okay.
Let's get this roll going.
Either this is going to be great or this is going to be hilarious. Okay, slightly hilarious. 6.
Okay. So they take you on the floor and it turns to kind of like a samba. And so there's a lot of hip movement that they're trying to guide you through as they roll you out and pull you back in, and they're showing you like with both hands, but their feet are moving with their hips and the coordination just doesn't quite get there. So you are going to take a condition. So the condition I think would be appropriate here would be the insecure. If you disagree, go ahead and let me know.
No, that's yeah, right now they are feeling very out of their element, and the fact that they are not immediately perfect at this is really not helping.
So, in response to that, they are going to give you a little tug to pull you up against their body and tilt your head up to meet theirs and say, "Don't worry, I've got you. Let the music get into you. Try to pulsate with it." And she gets very close to where your chests are touching, and your hips are barely a few inches apart as she guides one hand down to your hip to try to roll it and loosen it up. And so she's going to try to guide you through that. I'll let you have that little dance and that little moment there to simmer and marinate. Well, that would have been better for Celine. But anyway, food puns, all that good stuff. Let's switch over to the two that have gone down to the Blade Suite. Renee, Rochelle, are you going to be spectators or are you going to test your mettle?
Rochelle is very keen to actually get in the ring and fight.
All right. So there is a person that is checking in people who want to fight. Let's see here. Okay, so the person that's checking you in is has a name badge that says Val. Both of you make a wit check, please.
Ooh.
No, I did not name this character after Val. That's just, it's literally the one that was there for the role that I made.
Does this happen to be a figure a person out roll, or is it just general wit?
It's general wit.
Okay.
Solid 13.
Mm-hmm.
Solid 7.
Okay.
Also solid.
Rochelle, you've seen their face before, maybe in a newscast, maybe on a billboard, but you can't really place who this is.
Okay.
Renee, you know that this is the former reigning champion of Club Saber. This is a Valkyr Tempers, who is a barehanded fighter, who has a few good fights left in her. She's in her early 40s. Her hair is in a pixie cut and is dyed silver, but you can see kind of that there are some natural grays coming through. Has very scarred hands and a cheeky smile. And from your recollection from interviews that you've listened to previously, you know that she also likes plants. So are you, Renee, are you also signing up for the fights, or are you going to be a spectator?
I'm also going to sign up for a fight. I have the thought that I can keep track of a lot more people while I'm fighting than I can while I am watching.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Val is it has her spreadsheet, and she says, "Okay. Next. Oh, aren't you a cute little thing? What's your name, sweetheart?" she says to Rochelle.
Oh, Rochelle Carmichael.
Rochelle Carmichael. And what is your weapon of choice?
She just holds up the sword hilt.
Oh. Okay. So I don't know how to describe that, but
Oh, trust me, it's still sword.
questionable sword. Got it. And do you have opponent in mind, or do you want us to select one for you randomly?
Rochelle is just going to slowly turn towards Renee and is going to sort of like twirl her sword hilt in her fingers for a bit.
Okay. And your name, dear lady?
Renee, I guess I'm fighting her.
I mean, it's all about consent. You can consent to it or you not.
That sounds like a good time.
All right. And your weapon of choice?
I hold up my cane, pull out just the end of the sword. I've got a sword.
Ooh, a cane sword. I like it. Very classy. All right. Ladies, you can go to ring number 5. And there's a match that is finishing up right now, but you will be the next up. And any special ring names or anything else that I can put down for you?
Not for me.
No, Rochelle's just fine.
Yes, you are. And winks at both of you. Well, have a good fight, and hopefully we'll see you later. Big old flirt. That is another thing that you've heard extensively. Big old flirt still hasn't found anybody to settle down with. Um, so
I too would be a big flirt if I regularly beat people up who had swords with my bare hands.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you two are going to go get prepared for your bout. Are you doing anything special to prepare? Or are you people watching? What are you doing?
Ooh, good question.
I am people watching and seeing, just trying to get an understanding of who's fighting, who's watching, and get some idea of what people are talking about.
Understood. So do you have an ability that that works with that?
Um, Wait, I think I do actually. Let me get out the book.
While you look that up, Rochelle, are you looking to do anything specific to prepare?
Ooh. Um,
You can also
I,
people watch, that's fine.
is there sort of like a prep room sort of thing, almost like a waiting area to go into the ring?
Yes. And in that waiting area there are towels, there's chalk for your hands. There is some light refreshment but nothing too heavy.
Mm-hmm.
There is a medic standing by for any injuries that may come up, and there is a television screen so that you can see all 5 of the different rings um, at the same time, so you can be watching those while you wait. You can see the spectators in the stands, but they're really not paying attention to you. They're paying attention to the action in the ring.
Okay. She's going to just grab like probably one of the bigger towels that's available, sets it on the floor, and is going to sort of just sit cross-legged on the towel. I would like to use one of my nature witch moves,
Okay.
which is awaken the wild.
Okay.
So I start by rolling plus spirit. Ooh, so that's, let's see, 4 and a 4, that's 8. Plus 2 is 10. So
Okay.
I get to choose one of these options here.
So your options are: you can cleanse something of hurt, corruption, or sickness. You can alter something's behavior in the ecosystem or atmosphere. Or you can make make something dangerous to a certain person or creature. Or a type of person or creature. So what are you thinking of doing with this Awaken the Wild?
If it's possible, I would like to, I guess this would be, I'm not sure if it would be the ecosystem or the atmosphere,
Mm-hmm.
but I essentially want to give myself like a tailwind, essentially, so I can move around the ring faster during the fight.
Okay. So you're not quite sure how this works,
Sure.
but you summon what seems to be like a wind spirit of some kind.
Okay.
And so you don't necessarily see it, but you feel it standing next to you,
Okay.
as if waiting for your instructions.
Ooh, okay. Very cool. All right.
Uh,
That's your prep, basically.
okay, so
That's
let's
very impressive preparation.
so let's go back. Oh wait, Renee, did you
Oh yeah, so
figure out what you were gonna be?
yeah, when I'm investigating the scene of mystery, I notice one seemingly unrelated detail that catches my attention for reasons I don't fully understand until later.
Okay.
We can you could decide it's not the scene of a mystery, but that's the thing I was remembering that I was wanted to reference.
Okay. So you look around and you see paw prints in the dirt, of the ring that you are going to be going into. They're kind of small, maybe the size of that cat that you saw earlier.
Hmm, interesting.
Okay, and so we are going to switch back to Celine, make a noodle bowl with Topper. How's that going?
So, I mean, like, I guess she finds him somewhat interesting, but it's mostly her being polite at this moment. Um, so she's just like, um, she's grabbed maybe a couple of fried pork cutlets
Mhm.
and is starting to set it on top, or because at this point I'm sure they've gotten to broth noodle. It's
Yep.
relatively simple.
Yeah.
Now it's just garnishing with maybe like um a couple of soft boiled eggs, some pork cutlets, and shallots or spring onions or something like that.
Right. So he says, "Wow, this smells amazing. Do you make this a lot, or is this
Uh,
something you're just intuitively going for?"
it is a dish of comfort for sure.
It smells like it. And he
That and it is perfect for the starving artist who might be down on their luck occasionally. She just chuckles, like seemingly like she's not talking from experience, but definitely every artist when they're first starting out has
Mhm.
probably experienced that. She doesn't want to make it seem that way.
Yeah, but go ahead and give me a figure it out move. So that would be wit, unless you have something else to affect it.
Um, let's I mean, well, I don't know, because I guess I don't know that doesn't apply because I'm not needing something from him. Uh, oh, well, I'd have to change my limelight, but no, I don't think I have anything really that would work for this because I'm not trying to fit. Like, I don't, not working on him or Um, I don't need necessarily anything from him. So that was a wit, you said?
Yes.
7.
Okay. Um, so you can see a spark of recognition when you say the starving artist thing. He's definitely been there too. And he lets a little bit of his guard down and it says, so which do you love most, food or graffiti art?
One feeds the body, the other feeds my soul. She just looks like the question has potentially giving her some existential dread as she tries to figure out which she loves more.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose I would have to say my graffiti art is more fulfilling to me personally.
Mm-hmm. So you can ask me, the GM, any of those questions that are on there, because I completely forgot that there were questions that go along with figure out a person. So I will do better.
At least with mine, because mine have.
So, you can ask, how do I get you to leave me alone? Or anything like that.
No, she's just smiles and this has been a lovely time. Don't get me wrong. I have enjoyed myself. However, I think one of them, she just kind of turns abruptly. Yes, yes, Maria, I am coming, and we'll scurry off.
Okay, bye. And you leave poor Topper being like, what did I do wrong? I was trying to show interest. She was wearing my clothing, and you hear him muttering to himself as you walk away. All right. Maya. We're gonna do one last round, and then we're gonna get to fighting.
That's where she heads off to.
Mm-hmm. So, Maya, you are on the dance floor with this wonderful Bruna, who has gotten you to loosen up a little bit. You're starting to feel the rhythm, and like you're making the calculations of how to get your body to move in time with the tempo. And so what do you do now that you're starting to gain control of the situation?
Uh, Maya is Maya kind of is really starting to feel genuinely intimate with someone, like for what like in the sense of how they have read and how people tell them they can feel intimate.
Mm-hmm.
Their body is artificial, yet every touch and the movement feels somehow very authentic and very real in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
But and they're really and they kind of like whisper shout the way you do in clubs with
Mm-hmm.
Bruna, and just as the music is about to die down, uh they kind of they like whisper in Bruna's ear, would you like to duel me?
Oh, I thought you would never ask. Let's go. I can dance to this song another time. And um she grabs your hand, and you start walking expeditiously to the blade section. Um and Val is like, "Hey Bruna, Val, I finally found one." Bruna just laughs and is like, "Oh honey, you are too eager for all this. Anyway, so Bruna, short sword. And what's your name, gorgeous?"
Rati. My name is Rati, who pierces hearts with their sword.
Woo, if that isn't a stage name, I don't know what is. And what kind of sword are you wielding today?
That would broadsword.
Broadsword. I can't wait to see that fight. Make your way over to ring number 2. No, wait. 4. Yeah, make your way over to ring number 4 and hope you both have a fun time. And
I hope so too.
You head over, you walk by several other rings. You see the cat who is currently playing with somebody's sock for some reason.
I like that.
Ask me where I got that inspiration from.
I could make an educated guess.
If you have seen the little black cat in my background, that is my, or not black cat, the gray cat in my background. She is my sock thief, always stealing my socks. So there's that.
I was gonna say, when did Romeo magically teleport?
No, it's a sparrow who did that. So anyway, so yeah. You hear the next bell ring. Ladies and gentlemen, round 2 of the fighting portion in the Blade suite is about to begin. Fighters, please enter the ring. The previous round, they are leaving. Some of them are kind of banged up. Some of them are holding each other. There's one that's crying and the other person is like, it's gonna be okay, let's go have dinner, we can talk about it. Okay, it's just you the way you did the thing was so beautiful. I know, it's okay. So yeah, some really good fights, letting out of emotions and everything has happened. And now it's your turn. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 round in ring number 5 and 1 round in ring number 4. Okay? You will each get a turn to do something. If you roll, or when you roll, you can use whatever skills that you have selected. If you get hit, you are going to take a condition. If you have all 5 conditions marked, then you pass out from emotional overload, or you become incapacitated in some way. Everybody good to go?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In ring number 4, we have Bruta the Untamed, coming forth with a short sword of gold and titanium, versus, I need you to say that name one more time because I didn't. It's Rati. What's the title?
Rati who pierces hearts with their sword.
Okay. Versus Rati, who pierces the hearts with her sword. They got it wrong, but it's fun. And a shout and a cheer goes out. And in ring number 5, we have Renee, the cane sword wielder, versus Rochelle, the nymph of the forest.
Yeah, I guess that works.
It's awfully reductionist, don't you think?
It really is, ain't it?
Yeah.
You didn't give them anything to work with, so they had
I
to
mean,
make
that's
something
totally
up.
fair,
I
though.
wasn't really trying to give them anything to work with.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so we are going to start. And Celine, are you going to fight or are you going to be a spectator?
Oh, definitely would want to throw in her own sword there and participate.
Okay, roll a d20 for me again, please.
Yeah, sure.
Unless you want to fight Quentin.
Who was Quentin?
He's the one that Renee was talking to in the BattleBot area.
Oh. I'll roll the d20.
Okay, go ahead.
Seems a decent fella.
That is a 3.
That is a 3. Okay. And in ring number 3, we have Celine. Celine that colors the ring red versus Regan, the the tattooed wonder. Regan is an androgynous person who is about 6 feet tall, broad shouldered, basically kind of a rectangle, but it's all muscle. They
Mhm.
have very long black hair but shaved sides, and it is pulled back into a braid. A bit of stubble growing from their chin, and a large tattoo that goes from one ankle, you assume, over their entire body to the opposite arm, of vines and lightning and smoke. You're not really sure what it means, but that's what it is. And they are wielding a retracting sword. So it's, if you've ever played Soul Calibur, you know the character Ivy
Yeah.
that has the whip sword. Yeah, that's what they've got. So let's see here. So we are gonna start with Maya and Bruna. So Maya, you can go first. What are you going to do?
Okay. Uh,
So you can do a simple fight roll, or you can use any of your abilities that you've selected.
I'm going to use my sharp with numbers move here. Your skill with the
Mhm.
blade flows not from raw strength, but from your mastery of the tactical field before you.
Okay.
So, mm, so I can roll with spirit instead of daring on that one.
All right.
And of course, first they kind of change their look into their armor, which
Mhm.
usually before was very pink, was pink and blue and fairly light colors,
Mhm.
but now has turned into this deep purple and black, sleek armor that covers every inch of their body, except right up until their neck here. And you can clearly see their arms kind of fill out to, be able to wield the broadsword more effectively. And so and they are going to try and essentially suss out Bruna's fighting style by pulling evasive maneuvers first.
Okay, go ahead and do that roll.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I got a 12.
Okay, great. So you get to do 3 things um uh with uh with Bruna. You can flirt or provoke them. You can, through violence or cutting words, inflict a condition. You can take an opportunity for an ally or a distraction, or you can take an object from your opponent with superior position. So you can do 3 of those things.
Okay, so first, I think Rati or Maya are they're going to go with first, essentially trying to provoke them out of their position and get them to attack first,
Mm-hmm.
and essentially kind of smirks at them and goes, uh, your sword is adequate, but don't you think that maybe you're fighting a little bit of a losing battle here? We could just leave if you accept defeat.
Ooh. Okay. I think that is going to put the frightened condition on Bruna. What's the next one?
Okay. Okay, so the other one, okay, so the other ones were, okay, they're
Um,
going to try and,
go ahead.
I know one of them is taking the object away, right? Taking an object away.
Correct.
Okay, so they're not going to go for the sword first. They are going to try and do they have anything on them?
They have a couple of necklaces on. They have a bracelet that's not their watch for this event. They have a hip scarf. And they've got a couple of jangly ornaments on their belt loops.
Uh, they're going to remove the hip. Rati's going to try and remove the hip scarf.
Um, do you want to take a third one, or are those the only two things you want to do?
I think these are the only two things that they want to do. Right now, they're just trying to provoke them and trying to understand them better.
Okay. Now I do want to remind everybody we have about 10 minutes, so we're going to do one final quick run through of what everybody's going to do, okay? Celine, you are up against Val. No, you're not up against Val. You are up against what was that person's name? Regan.
All I remember is the somewhat something tattoo.
Yes, Regan, lots of tattoos, and has the extending sword. So what are you going to do?
So, I guess as part of her entrance, because um I don't know if I can do this. Try and limelight while in quote unquote dangerous situations.
Sure.
But limelight, what she'll do is as a very flashy entrance.
Mm-hmm.
She'll because like our artist aesthetic, she has like small smoke bombs that she'll have on them that have like a lasting smoke that will linger in the area for a moment or two. She'll throw out a couple of those, and then while those are smoking out, she'll paint the ground like paint some symbology around her as a flashy entrance
Mm-hmm.
to have before the smoke clears out.
Gotcha. Go ahead and make a
For let's say
yeah,
limelight,
make
it's
a roll
hard.
for it. And use whatever I would say either heart or spirit, your choice.
Yeah. Hit the 4, 6. That's a 7.
Okay. So it doesn't turn out as mystical as you like. You do get the final lines down, but the smoke has cleared. And you see that Regan is ready for you and is swinging their sword around their head. We are going to switch over to ring number 5. Rochelle and Renee, can I have you both roll a fight for me, please?
Love
Yeah.
fighting.
Unless you have something else that you would like to use. And it's only because we are running out of time.
I Rochelle's fighting. I don't know what Renee's doing. Rochelle's fighting.
Okay.
Yeah, also fighting. We just rolled rolled a 2 on
Ooh.
that fight roll.
Okay.
How's my wind spirit buddy helping me out here?
It will give you a +1 to your roll.
Okay, cool. So I'll be rolling fight plus grace here. Oh, Jesus. That's going to be a total of 11.
Nice.
Okay. So, how do you knock Renee down?
So with an almost like unnatural speed, Renee, you see her Rochelle sort of just zoom forward. And you know that really like I'm not sure if uncomfortable feeling is the right adjective to use, but like when you get hit right in that right spot behind your knee and it kind of makes your knees kind of give out a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
you feel not a cut, but it almost feels like with her sword, like she's taking a metal baseball bat and just.
Now, the question is, you have the opportunity to catch her. Do you?
Ooh. Well, I do get 3 of these options here. So the first thing I'm going to do is through violence in this situation, inflicting a condition.
What condition are you taking, Renee?
Anger. As going after my going
Your
after
injured
Renee's
knee?
legs specifically, she becomes very annoyed and angry at him, specifically targeting.
At her.
Yeah.
You know what? It's my own character. At her, specifically targeting her like disability,
Right.
as she starts to collapse,
Yeah.
and she just
Uh,
gives a very angry and dour expression.
Got it.
and I'm going to seize a superior position, which is basically only just basically taking Renee to the ground.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, let us flirt with our opponent and gain a string on them.
How do you flirt?
And, well, Rochelle's not the best at it. She's just going to, I think that initial, like, burst of adrenaline of her mind of wanting to fight, she forgets about Renee's disability for a split second, and will sort of like as soon as Renee starts to fall, catch her, and she's like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry. You okay? What can I do for you here? I should have something in one of my pouches here."
Renee, you get the last word of the game. This is your response. You get one of those responses from fight.
Well, so I have a bonus boost, so I could what I was going to do is I was going to provoke them to revealing a personal detail. Basically, I smile and laugh a bit after a moment of anger, and sort of look directly at me and was like, "Did think you'd be much of a fighter. Guess I was wrong in that scenario.
Yeah, well,
Try to fight more
does
fair next time."
yeah, you know, I went from the perspective of saying that, you're as capable as a fighter with or without it. I guess I just targeted without knowing, and I'm real sorry about that. That's not normally how I do things.
And with the stuttering and the faces closed, holding each other, holding Renee in her arms, we are going to call it there. Will love be found on the battlefield? You'll have to find out next time.
Next time on.
So next time on Thirsty Sword Lesbians. We are going to end it here, but before we go, I do want to thank everybody who's been in chat, everybody who's been viewing, all of my players especially, and I want to give my players a opportunity to talk about whatever projects that they've got going on. We are going to start with Spencer.
Oh boy. Well, I need to come out of character voice for a second. I am Spencer. I have been your nature witch, Rochelle Carmichael today. Currently no projects in the works at the moment. I'm just kind of living life at the one day at a time at the moment. So we'll see if something comes up in the future. But you can just if you want to follow me on social media, Spencer DVA on Twitter is where you can find me.
Excellent. And let's go down to Renee.
Yeah, Omega362 on things where you can find me. Had a great time playing. Thanks for having me. Remember to donate, to the charity thing.
Absolutely.
I don't have any upcoming projects other than having a full-time job.
Fantastic. All right, Celine.
There we go. Hi, I'm Spiritus, also known as Spiritus Lupus. I have are known most everywhere in some various form of spelling of Spiritus Lupus. I don't have any projects. I'm up here. If I'm seen on the internet, at least streaming. Usually I'm only here. I do occasionally stream on my own channel, though I don't do a whole lot anymore because of my real life job. Um, it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed hanging out with everyone here and all the thirsty and all of the thirst and the swords. Um, Thank you to the wonderful cast and crew that we have here. And let's hope that we can hit our goal for Extra Life by the end of the year.
Fantastic. And Abby?
Hi. You can find me on Twitter at Dr. _Wyborn and Ombre Lesbian Night on the Blue Sky app. Well, most of the projects that people can see would like to see are going to be me playing various TTRPGs. I'm playing with Nerds with Dice on a game of Iron Sworn. So we've just finished our first session. So if you want to catch the VOD, you can go ahead and do that. We'll be playing our second game, I think, in a week or so. But I'll put it up. I'll obviously retweet it on my Twitter and on Blue Sky if you want to catch me. I'm also part of a couple of other projects that are going to be very thematic for October and spooky season. So look
Ooh,
out for that.
fantastic. And I have been your Game Mixtrix Nyx, and you can find me here on Twitch as Resonant Moon. You can also find the adorable crocheted stuffies that I make on Instagram, Fibermancers, the number 4 higher. On my channel, I do crochet, I do art, I do some gaming. I hang out with my friends, all that jazz. So some programming. So in about an hour's time, we have Pardon My French, a Tremors game with Val as the storyteller. And then at 7 p.m. Eastern, we have Elvis Has Left the Building, a Monster of the Week game with Doc Rimbo as the storyteller. So please stay tuned, be generous, share the link if you are not able to donate. We really appreciate it, and so does the Children's Miracle Network. Each of these games will have different rewards for donations, so just make sure that you are able that you take advantage of those. Also, remember that Valdrianth is doing a charity match. So for every sub that they get for the rest of the year, $1 will be donated towards Extra Life and the Children's Miracle Network. So thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to drink water, take care of yourself and each other, and know that we care about you very much. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Alright, everyone, thank you for sticking around. This is Slow Pool. Valve's just taking a little break, and as we are with the channel, if you'll stick around in a little bit, we are going live with the Tremors TTRPG. Pardon my French. Yeah, so if you'd like, just hang around, grab a drink of water, get a snack, I don't know, maybe go outside, touch some grass. But don't go anywhere, because we'll be back soon. Thanks for sticking around, and thanks for all the donations.